Hey folks, this is Scott and my good friend Don. What is your last name, Don?
MOE, Mo.
Mo. I always refer to him as a singing saddle maker, but we're here in the historic streets of Pawhuska, Oklahoma. So I want to really kind of introduce you my friend here, and we've had a lot of really interesting experiences here in the streets of Pawhuska, and it's led to some artwork and some great interactions here with the local public. But Don here, the singing saddle maker, he's quite a special gentleman. He's a musician. He's a historian. He's really just a lot of everything. But ultimately, he is a leather artist. He builds saddles and anything you can imagine out of leather. And he's got a long life of living out there in the wilds on horseback and all kinds of things. But I want to show a little artifact first here that Don brought, and it kind of speaks to our time here in Pawhuska. When we first met, were you working down in was it Hominy?
No,
Winona?
Winona, yeah.
So you're working down in Winona, and this is doing the saddle making thing, and he met up here, and we were doing some music programs and stuff of that nature, and we eventually figured out a way that we could play together. And we did this little fun show, but I want to show you this piece here that Don brought in. So, oh my gosh, I want you to see that real quick. That's an original Gibson.
Gibbs.
Gibbs.
Yeah, not Gibson.
Gibbs.
Yeah.
But this is an old parlor guitar, correct?
Yeah.
So what is the history behind this guitar?
Well, my dad bought it. You know, no, he's passed, but anyhow, that guitar's got to be over 100 years old, and you know, he had it. He never wasn't trying to play it at the time when I was a kid, but we always had it around. Then when I really got interested, I loved to sing, and then figured out, well, I could entertain. But anyway, I tried to play that guitar, and you know, it's not really a great instrument, and so I found my own. But anyway, that's the first guitar I ever tried to play, and it's just been around all my life. So, well,
it's been living in our little history museum here, full of oddities and unique things, and I've had some really interesting people in the music world seen this and knew what it was, and this is a really beautiful piece. So hopefully I'll get to experience a little bit more with this. But this is kind of what started off this friendship that we had was music.
Yeah.
So, all right, Don. Oh, such a great rig there. All right, so as far as your life here, this is only a small piece of what you lived here in Pawhuska.
Yeah.
Where did you come from? What's your history?
Well, I came from California. I was a California farm boy. I'd look over the fence at people riding horses, and I wanted to ride horses. So instead of driving tractor, like say we were on a farm. And so I finally got a little Morgan mare, and I rode her all over. My brother got a car, and he drove all over, but I didn't care about the cars. I wanted to ride. And then finally I got up into Montana with a friend I'd met, and he got me started away from the farm. Being a farm boy, I wasn't going to get invited out on the ranches, so I had just to get away and get to the ranches. And so anyway, started to get some experience, and either my interest has been music and livestock, you know, maybe a girl or two I met along the way, but anyway, that didn't always turn out so well. So and I like to sing. Been sort of fun coming down here and entertaining, singing some old time music. I knew an old fiddler in Idaho, and I'd go in when I was working on a ranch there. We'd go in and visit and play every week, and you know, enjoyed that. And I learned a lot from him, and so anyhow, and I always wanted to do more with music, and you know, maybe I'm still hoping I can. Anyway, I don't know much what else to say. I mean, I miss the cows and miss the horses being locked up in town here, you might say.
Well, but your history is very. I mean, you've had an expansive history here, and one of the things that kind of stuck out to me and we expressed in our music was German folk songs and you sung. He sings these amazing German folk songs and children's songs and things of that nature. So where'd that all come from?
Well, when I was a kid, some of my friends were German, you know, the Mennonite communities. Anyway, in one family, they still really spoke German at home, and this kid had, knew the language very well, and I thought, well, I ought to be able to do that. So it became a lifelong hobby, just learning the German language. And then I went to Germany and met and worked there. I sold saddles over there.
You made saddles in Germany, German saddles?
Yeah. Well, I made American style stock saddles in Germany. Spent a winter at that. But altogether, I've spent, and I've been there a dozen times, and the people were crazy about American cowboy stuff and horses and whatever. So, anyway, it was fun, and they spent 3 months over there working in the shop, just because I wanted to do it, and I had the money at the time to go, and so.
Did you do any cowboying while you were over there?
No. Well, rode a horse or two, but you can't. And unless you set up a situation, there's nothing resembling cowboy, and
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you come back here and you've stayed on ranches. You've lived in bunkhouses and.
Yeah. I've worked in several different states, and day worked quite a bit, and had ranch jobs, and. When I was quite young, I got to work on some big outfits. Not for long term. You go out on the wagon, as they say, and you're just going out and you're living for a month or more, or out there and doing nothing but gathering cattle and branding calves. And so anyway.
So you had a life of cowboying and living out on the range under the stars and and learning how to play music, making saddles, making anything out of leather.
Well, not anything, cowboy gear.
Cowboy gear.
Yeah. Saddles and chaps and all the things that pertain to it. Somebody wants a rifle scabbard or a pistol scabbard. I've got a couple of those to make right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, excellent. I really appreciate what you do, and I would encourage you to keep on rocking with your leatherworks and everything, your music. So
yeah.
He's an exceptional person here that deserves a lot of credit for his accolades and his things he's done in his life. And I just want to make sure if you ever see this man down the street, wherever you're at, wherever he's at, and you meet him, make sure to shake his hand, say hello. He's got a great history and a lot of great talent. He's a really good man. So Don Moe. Don, the singing saddle maker.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Don.
All right.
All right. We'll catch you out on the streets.
All right.